Hello, and welcome to the instructional video for the BHC Lower Income Waiting List Lottery. From March 1st to March 12th, Burbank Housing Corporation will be accepting online applications for the 2021 Lower Income Waiting List Lottery. The goal of this video is to show interested applicants how to properly fill out our online application. Our application process has changed since our last waiting list opening, so we'll be going over the entire application step by step. Before we get started, here's some basic information you should know. Burbank Housing Corporation, or BHC, is a non-profit community housing developer that owns over 300 affordable rental units in Burbank, California. We maintain 4 income-based waiting lists to fill all the vacancies in our properties. It may take several months or years on our waiting list before a household is placed in one of our apartments. For this reason, our affordable housing program is not a form of immediate or emergency housing. Starting Monday, March 1st at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, interested applicants may visit our website to submit an application for our lower income waiting list lottery. Applications must be submitted no later than Friday, March 12th at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. After the deadline, the online application process will close and no further applications will be accepted. This waiting list lottery is specifically for households that qualify for lower income, which is 50 to 80% of the local average median income. The state of California for Los Angeles County sets the income limits annually. Once the application process closes, eligible applicants will be entered into a lottery drawing, and a limited number of applications will be randomly selected and then placed on the bottom of our lower income waiting list. Households that are not selected will have to reapply whenever the waiting list reopens in the future. Due to COVID-19 safety restrictions, our lottery application can only be submitted online via our website. If you are a person with a disability and need assistance filling out the application, please contact our office at 818-559-2336 and leave a message or email us at info@burbankhousingcorp.org. To find the online application, please visit burbankhousingcorp.org/2021lower. Once you are there, you can read more about the eligibility requirements for lower income, the application process, Burbank Housing Corporation, and also view this video. One important thing you should definitely do before starting your application is to collect the information stated in this section, which includes an adult household member that can be designated as the head of household, the combined gross annual income of the entire household, the gross monthly income of each household member, the date of birth of every household member, a current mailing address, an email address, and a phone number. By doing this, you'll be able to complete the application smoothly. At the bottom of the page, you can see a button that says Start Your Lottery Application Now. Click that and it should take you to the online application form. The official application has 10 sections that can all be seen at the top of the online form. Please read each section carefully and follow the instructions. Mistakes on your application could affect your eligibility. BHC will continue to accept applications until the March 12th cutoff. There is no advantage in being the first to submit. Please take your time and provide the most accurate information possible. The introduction section covers some important notifications, such as applying for the lottery does not guarantee you a position on our waiting list. Duplicate applications will be rejected. If a household member appears on multiple applications, we will only be able to accept a single application for them. The information you provide will be kept private and confidential. BHC is not responsible for any technical issues with electronic transmissions. The lottery application is not limited to the residents of Burbank, California. Some sections will require that you confirm having read them before you continue. Select the checkbox and you should be able to go on to the next section. In the Before You Apply section, you can confirm that you have all the necessary information to fill out the online application, which we've already gone over. You can also learn more about our waiting list guidelines that include our PEP policy, rental screening process, income certification, and more. Please note that these rules and regulations only apply once a household has been added to our waiting list. Once you have read this section, you can confirm and move to the next step. How to determine eligibility. In this section, we will cover how to determine if you are eligible for this waiting list lottery. Eligibility for affordable housing program is based on the household size and gross annual income. To fill out the rest of the application, we will use a fictional household as an example. Here we have the Smith family, and they are interested in applying for the 2021 Lower Income Waiting List Lottery, but they are not sure if their household qualifies. They see that they need to collect some basic information. First thing is their household size. When determining your household size, you must include yourself, your children, other adult household members, and unborn infants if someone in your household is pregnant. So we can see that the Smith family has John, Jane, Lily, and Andy, but Jane is also pregnant. So that would mean that they are a 5-person household. Next, we need to determine the household's gross annual income. Gross annual income is the total amount of money that all household members earn in a year before anything is taken out for taxes or other deductions. Your household's gross annual income may include but is not limited to the following sources of income listed in this section. Please note that financial aid or food assistance programs like CalFresh cannot be used as an income source. Now let's get back to the Smith family. John and Jane are the only income earners in the household, so they take a look at their tax returns, pay stubs, and bank statements to determine what they are currently earning. John started his own business that he runs from home, and Jane works as a receptionist at a dental office. Jane reviews her last 3 months of pay stubs and determines that she earns $3,500 a month before taxes are deducted from her paycheck. She multiplies this number by the number of months in a year and comes to the conclusion that her gross annual income is $42,000 a year. Because John has a business, his income varies month to month. To calculate his gross income, he should review the profits or net earnings of his business from the last 3 months. Since his income varies, he will add up his take-home pay from the last 3 months and then divide by 3 to find his average gross monthly income, which comes out to $2,000. To find his annual gross income, he will multiply this number by 12, which adds up to $24,000 a year. Now, Jane and John add up their gross annual income and land on the number $66,000 a year. Now that we have determined their gross annual and monthly income, we can select this checkbox and continue to the next section. State lower income limits. This section states only applications that qualify for lower income, as established by the state of California for LA County, will be entered into the waiting list lottery. Please follow the instructions in Section 3, How to Determine Eligibility, to calculate the household's gross annual income, which the Smith family has done and came to the conclusion that their household's gross annual income is $66,000. In this section, you can confirm that your household's income is within the lower income limits. Since the Smith family is a 5-person household, they should be looking at the income limits for a household of their size. Here we can see that a 5-person household that earns between $60,851 and $97,350 is considered lower income. That means that the Smith family will qualify and can apply for the lower income waiting list lottery. If you see in this section that you do not qualify for the lower income limits for your household size, please do not continue. Your application will be automatically rejected. If you do qualify, you can select this checkbox to continue to the income eligibility section. In this section, you will enter your household size and gross annual income. The first question asks, how many people are in your household? Please include yourself, other adult household members, children, and any unborn infants. Since the Smith family is a 5-person household, we will enter 5 for this question. The next question asks, what is the combined gross annual income of your entire household? Here we will enter $66,000. At the bottom of this section, you will see, does my household qualify for lower income? If your household qualifies, it should read yes, lower income level. Based on the information you entered, your household is eligible for the lower income waiting list lottery. Your household's income must be verifiable at a later date. You may continue filling out this application. If you enter your information and this section says no, please do not continue. If you choose to continue, your application will be automatically rejected. You may read our 2021 waiting list update for more information. Head of household. In this section, you will select an adult to be designated as the head of household. The head of household is an adult household member that will be responsible for the waiting list application. We recommend selecting the person who is the easiest to contact and can easily communicate with our office. Because John works from home and is more available than Jane, the Smith family decides to put him down as the head of household. Here, we will enter the fields with John's contact information. Also remember to include the head of household's gross monthly income. A valid email address and phone number is required for the lottery application. Also, you will enter your mailing address that BHC will use when sending any mailed correspondence. If you would like to use a P.O. box as your mailing address, please select no when asked if this is your home address. An additional field will appear where you can provide your home address. Once you have filled the required questions, you may continue to the next section. Household members. In the household member section, you will enter the information of the other people that will be included on your application and that will be living with the head of household when a BHC unit becomes available. If you are a one-person household, you won't see any required fields. You may click Next and continue to General Household Information. If your household is more than one person, you will need to provide information on the other individuals. For example, since the Smith family is a 5-person household, we will include Jane, Andy, Lily, and the new baby under this section. First, we will enter Jane as household member number 2. We will enter her date of birth and her relationship to John, the head of household. We calculated earlier that Jane's gross monthly income is $3,500, so we will enter that as well. Next, Andy will be entered as household member number 3. We provide the same information we included for Jane, but since Andy is a child and earns no income, we will enter 0 as his gross monthly income. Lily would now be household member number 4. Since she also earns no income, we will enter 0 under the income question. Lastly, the new baby will be entered as household member number 5. Since baby Smith hasn't been born yet, we will enter the expected date of delivery as the date of birth. The best estimate is fine to use in this instance. Once all the information for the rest of the household has been entered, you may continue to the next section. General household information. This section has a few simple questions about your household. The first question asks, does any household member receive or earn the following sources of income? You may select all that apply. Since Jane works and earns a salary, we will select salary, wages, and other job earnings. Because John is self-employed, we will also select the second checkbox for self-employment/business profits. You may select all the appropriate boxes. If none of them apply, you may also select other and type your source of income. The second question asks if anyone in your household is employed in Burbank. For this example, neither Jane or John work in Burbank, so we will select no. Before selecting yes, please make sure that you can provide proof that you work with an employer located within the city limits of Burbank. The third question asks, does your household currently have a Section 8 voucher? For our example, we will enter no. Whether your answer is yes or no, this question will not impact your eligibility or priority for our waiting list and affordable housing program. The last question asks, does anyone in your household physically require a ground floor unit? If your household does have someone who has trouble going up and down stairs, please select yes and provide their name. We ask this question so that we can provide a reasonable accommodation for households that need it. However, we will say that the Smith family does not require a ground floor unit, so we will select no for this example. Now we are done with this section and can continue to the certification. Certification. This is the second to last section. You will read our agreement that confirms that the information you provided is accurate. Also, that you understand that your answers are subject to verification and that you are applying for a random lottery to hopefully be selected and then placed on the bottom of our lower income waiting list. As the head of household, John would then sign the signature field and continue to the last section. Final review. Here is your last chance to change any information before submitting your application. The final review section states that you will receive a confirmation email after submitting. No additional income documentation is required at this time. Please remember that households can only submit a single application for the waiting list lottery, and that applying for the lottery does not guarantee that you will be placed on our waiting list. Once you are confident with your answers, you can click Submit Now and you should be redirected to the confirmation page. Please do not refresh the page after clicking Submit. If you are not redirected or receive an email, there may have been an issue with the submission, so please try to resubmit. The confirmation page should read, Application Confirmation. Thank you for submitting your lottery application. And that's it. You have completed the application process. We will continue accepting applications until March 12th, 2021 at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The lottery drawing will occur the following weeks after the March 12th deadline. If you have any further questions or notice a mistake on your submitted application, you may contact our office during our normal business hours. Thank you for watching this video.